Better mute myself then.
That's the introduction to our monthly meeting. Thanks, Robin. um, so welcome everybody to our August monthly business mastermind is what we're calling it now. So because I want to hear from you guys as much as possible and bounce off with some ideas. So let that be the intention from this month onwards. And so, as usual, agenda. You guys are free to add to this. Please send me suggestions. Our monthly business mastermind is the first Tuesday of every month. So please send me ideas on things that you want to hear about. You feel is topical within for yourself or for your teams. This is usually how I come up with the content. So yeah, please send them through. And then we're going to be talking a bit about leadership retreat. Obviously, our number one takeaways we've got there, which our leaders have joined us for. Once they've finished doing that, they might have other meetings to head off to, so they are free to fly away to those. And we thought that we'd share the breakout session notes as well, rather than kill two birds with one stone, for lack of better terms, with that, rather than doubling up. So there's some really good content in those breakout sessions, so be sure to hear out for that. And then we've got upcoming events and incentives, a little bit about a retreat, and an exciting announcement. If you saw the post in our share build group for our upcoming incentive that starts in September, which I'm really pumped on. And of course, questions and additions. Congratulations to some people who have done a fantastic job on our the highest enrollments in July. Correction, it's not June, it's July. And then we had Dr. Ranga Premaratna, whose name I can say really well, but sorry, Doctor, I'm familiar with you calling him Dr. Ranga, and his rank advanced to elite. We've also had some very special and exciting rank advancements to Premier in July. Drumroll, please. Congratulations, Karen. Congratulations. Round of applause for Karen, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is amazing.
Well done. And so you can see Karen, she's sharing what she loves. She loves horses, and she's very passionate about using the oils and helping horses with essential oils, and of course humans as well. There's no discretion there. So congratulations, Karen. Do you have any words of wisdom or thanks to share with us?
I do have thanks, yes, to you, Byron, and Nicole, and Dr. Jen for all the support, and to my team, which is very small but pretty engaged. So that's good. I've been loving the last 2 weeks. I've been learning a lot about working with horses, dogs, and cats. So yeah, really pumped. Can't wait to get going with it. Thank you.
Awesome. Sorry, we've got some bit of muting going on here. Izzy Spears. These youngsters, I tell you what, she's just partying 24/7. Sorry about that, Karen.
That's okay. That's great. Thank you.
And thank you so much for sharing. We're excited for you to share some of those experiences that you have in the equine community and also the dog community. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Hmm.
Good job. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Heather Hands as well, who is also part of Dr. Jen's team. So Dr. Jen charging ahead. And Heather is in Bali. She's just landed. So I'm going to say thank you, Heather. And your words of wisdom can be shared at a later date, but congratulations. Your efforts and achievements are really appreciated and don't go missed. So well done, Heather, as well. Now, through the month of last month of July, we had the Women's Health fundraiser with these 5 beautiful ladies from the team They all came over to the Pure Oils HQ, and we're raising funds for our local Days for Girls group. Now, we managed to raise $1,000 to go towards our local Days for Girls group, which is just absolutely amazing. And these girls did a fantastic job at presenting. And I'm going to call out Alicia Wenner on this one. I think she did a fantastic job at sharing her passion against plastics as well as essential oils. So I loved how she weaved in something else that she's really passionate about into essential oils and low tox living. So well done, girls. You all did an amazing job. $1,000. And on top of the $1,000, what is also really exciting is I put in an application to have the amount of funds raised in our collaborative work with our local Days for Girls equaled by doTERRA. So Healing Hands, they got back to me and they said, yes, we will equal the funds raised up to $10,000. So that is just absolutely incredible, because the local girls, they raised $18,500 odd dollars over the fundraising period. So it's really cool. Our community can be a part of giving these girls an additional $11,000 on top of what they raised. So congratulations, guys. You all did an amazing work. And thank you for everybody who supported, advertised the event, bought tickets, and everything that you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And I would like to arrange a day where we all go up and help pack some kits in preparation for my trip to Guatemala. I'm hoping to deliver on foot some hygiene kits to some of the local girls in Guatemala with the work that we're doing in Guatemala and educating some of the girls in female hygiene. So here's me, the man, teaching girls about the menstrual cycle. Let's see how that goes. I had an older sister. I know some stuff about it. So moving right along, thank you so much for all your support with that, guys. It's something I think is really good to be a part of. Thrive Through Winter. Robin, you got the mic. Let's tell us about how it went, because I have no idea. I wasn't here. You go for it.
Oops, hang on.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So it went really well. It had a couple of fabulous leaders that were taking control of the whole thing. They were unreal, those girls. Oh God, hang on. I was one of them, wasn't I? What a shame. No, I think the engagement started out pretty well, and I found this in past ones as well, though, is that it sort of, weans off a bit towards the end of the week, and the weekend engagement isn't all that crash hot. So for the person trying to choose, a comment to win the daily prize, there's probably, on the weekends, there's probably only one or two people that end up commenting anyway, so they haven't got much of a choice a lot of the time. But I think it went really well. I got some good feedback from my girls that I had in it. None of them have enrolled as yet. One of them's gone out of the country for 6 weeks now, but she wants to have a workshop when she gets back. And the other girl has been sick, so she's still using her samples because she's been sick, so she's been using Easier and On Guard, but they both really enjoyed it. And my one of the new girls in my team who lives in Tamworth, she had 3 people in it, and she said that they all really enjoyed it. And she's in conversations with them now about their options and whatever. So I think it went really well.
I think you did a fantastic job. From what I saw, you guys, the fantastic leaders that you talk about, I agree. You guys did a brilliant job.
Thank you, even though we had that big technological breakdown on our live.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to go back and watch that now.
No, we had to do a separate little ending because my laptop, I didn't have it plugged in, and I charged it fully, but it just ran out of, obviously lives take more use more battery power. You're doing a Facebook Live, it must do, because normally I have like 3 or 4 hours on it.
Yep.
It just all of a sudden went blank. And so we
no.
Carmen's phone and we taped, we did a little bit more, jumped back on. But there was
hey, we live and learn.
absolutely.
And this is this is part of the business as well, is living, learning, adapting, changing. I've started a little bit of a chat in the sample group, the chat group, amongst the samplers, people who have been sampling through these sample promos, and just looking at some different options as to how we can change it up a little bit, make it a bit more effective. And these are based, So we'll have a separate mastermind meeting about how we do our sample group, and possibly look at just moving it to a single perpetual group and focus more on how we're inviting people into that and addressing specific health needs and requirements, rather than just sending the intro trio and a couple of seasonal blends, and trying to get everybody into that group for the month or the couple of weeks really that it goes for.
That sounds good.
It's just not really working as well as it used to with groups because of the way that people are invited. So we just got to change it up. But
absolutely.
I
that sounds good.
It's still been great up until now, and I really appreciate your efforts, Robin, in running the last sample group. When I say the last sample group, I mean the last one that we did last month.
Recent one.
The most recent one. We still will be doing them. We'll just look at how we're doing them.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Robin. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
Superstar. All right. So these are just some of the ideas that I've just rattled off the top of my head. Focus on providing samples specific to people's needs. Have that ongoing group that we're adding people in with a focus on those 10 oils in the Home Essentials kit, Lifelong Vitality, and other popular oils like Balance and Lavender Peace, etc. And then the content is organized into units where people can go through and work through the content at their own pace, but we can also tag people and encourage people on specific posts. And the people that are in this group, they can see everybody else's comments. So there could be some really valuable content in those comments as well. And then, of course, I keep on hearing that we need a different platform apart from Facebook. So either an email series or Google Classroom. I started playing around with that this morning, and that looked really simple to set up. So I'm kind of steering more towards Google Classroom because it's fairly similar to a Facebook group. But of course, people without Facebook can use it. So there we go. That's just the harebrained ideas. Let's get brainstorming. Simply sharing. Just wanted to touch on this. This is something that's still ongoing in August as well, in alignment with the Sweet Alchemy oils. We're still incentivizing the books as well. So, you host a workshop, or somebody in your organization or team hosts a workshop with 4 or more people, 2 people enroll, the host gets the book. So we've had some great take up on that. And I highly encourage you to continue to use that incentive to encourage people to book some workshops. So please still take advantage of that and get your Sweet Alchemy oils. There's the incentive. Check it out. Now, I would love to hear from some of our beautiful leaders who attended leadership and share some of their takeaways. So I can see the lovely Emma Hartley's face front and center right now, and I'd love to give you the mic and share your number 1 takeaway.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for letting me speak. The first thing I'd like to say is I'm not sure how many people have gotten to go to leadership, but if you can manage to go to leadership, make sure you get to leadership, because it's my favourite doTERRA event. I love it. I always come away so inspired. So it's going to be a bit tricky to kind of condense everything. But I guess the first thing I wanted to talk about was Paul Ovens spoke, and he's a double presidential diamond. He and Vanessa are double presidential diamond. And he talked about his 3 constant companions: self-doubt, fear of rejection, and failure. And he talked about the fact that he still has those every single day. He also got some of the people, we all had to put our hands up if we dealt with these things. And it was actually amazing to me to see how many of the diamonds, blue diamonds, presidential diamonds had their hands up and actually still deal with those things every day. So for me, that was a really important thing to remember, that you know, we all find it hard sometimes and have self-doubt and fear of rejection and things like that. So his take on it was that he tries to flip it and look at it in a different way, and he uses those things to actually help him in his business and actually make him show up and things like that. So that was, I guess, my big number 1 takeaway. He also talked about getting back to basics, because I think it was this time last year at Leadership that he and Vanessa talked about going for double presidential diamond. And he talked about how, you know, they had to go back to basics, and they had to, you know, connect with 2 people every day and that kind of thing. And I guess that what he was saying was he still faces his fears and every single day, and he feels like quitting, but he doesn't. He just keeps showing up, and eventually, you know, you will succeed. And for me, that was huge, to think that someone who's still, there's presidential diamond and extremely successful, still has those fears, but, you know, pushes through it and still shows up. I'm not sure how much time I've got, Byron, but I also wanted to talk about the special ingredient they talked about with doTERRA. And the special ingredient is us, because no other company does what doTERRA does. You know, we work on relationships with people, and we're caring for people, and we really make connections with people, and that's what sets us apart as a company. And the really big thing with doTERRA is that when people enroll and get their oils, that's the beginning, really the beginning of the relationship. The relationship doesn't end like it does with a lot of other companies when you purchase a product. That's when we really, you know, build on that relationship and actually help people to use their oils and learn about the oils and things like that. So they also talked a little bit about how the demographic of the people that we're actually selling to now has actually changed. So therefore we need to look at how, you know, we need to look at the people that we're selling to and meet them where they're at. So it might not be necessarily like it used to be, where you would normally go for a home essentials kit. It might be a $35 membership, and you might look at hormonal balancing oils or mood balancing oils, or you know, one of the speakers that I heard speak talked about the Virage skincare is a great enrollment kit. It's a great idea to enroll people that are interested in skincare, because it's fantastic value. So just looking at things a little bit differently and looking at what our customers' needs are and what they're, you know, meeting them actually where they're at. Being proud of the fact that we are selling essential oils and not shying away from the fact that, you know, we are in the business of selling essential oils. The other thing that was a little bit funny was they did a survey at Flinders Street railway station, and they surveyed 100 people, because I think sometimes I feel like this, you know, when I first started with doTERRA, not that many people knew about doTERRA, but now I feel like every time I mention doTERRA, people go, oh yes, I've got an account, or I know someone who's got an account. So you feel like there's no one out there left to speak to and share these oils with sometimes. And they did a survey at Flinders Street railway station in Melbourne, and it was 100 people that they spoke to. And out of that 100 people, one person knew about doTERRA, and one person knew about doTERRA, but they thought it was a comedian, which was quite funny. So I guess the take home from that is that there's a whole lot of people out there that have never ever heard about doTERRA that we can share with. So I might leave it because I don't want to take up everybody's time. But yeah, they were my takeaways.
That's awesome, Emma. Thank you so much. They're brilliant takeaways. And yes, our target audience has changed. The early adopters,
yes,
they've jumped on board.
Yeah.
The people that are open to natural solutions. So now it's a matter of going through to the next market, and looking at it differently. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Absolute words of wisdom. Thank you. Okay, so in front of me, I can see Jodie Crowley and Vicky Drennan and Kirsty Wilson. Who wants to go first? Put your hand up. Oh, she's got her hands all over the place. She's going for it.
Me, I've got another call that I need to go and make. So can I go next?
You can. Go for it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hello, good evening, everybody. Can I just start by saying how gorgeous that photo is of you guys there, Byron, Izzy, Jodie, and Nicole. That's a beautiful photo. I love it. Well, I thought, can you hear me okay? Yeah? Okay. I've got like a kettle and a shower running. I thought I would share something from Diamond Day, actually, to be more specific, because I thought that we might double up anyway with everybody else. So Diamond Day for me was kind of deep, so I'm not going to go into too much. But one of the things that we heard from, I know Byron will appreciate this, we heard from this doctor here, Dr. Adam Fraser, and this is his book called The Third Space. And I haven't actually read it yet, but what I took from this is something that I think that we can really utilize for ourselves. So if we look at, we're in 3 spaces, yeah? So the first space is where we are right now. The second space is where we're going. And the third space is actually in the middle. I know that might sound silly. So first is where we are, second is where we're going. But there's this space in the middle, which is where we get to decide what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and what we're doing that is going to then help us get to that second stage. So if we're in this third space, where we're in struggle and, we're in that kind of really negative, blaming kind of pattern and all that kind of thing, then when we do get to that second space, it's not going to be healthy. So if we use an example of, at the moment, if you feel like your business, doTERRA business, obviously that's why we're here, is in that sort of state of struggle, it's a bit quiet at the moment, not as many people seem to be as interested and all that kind of thing, it can be really, really easy to start to feel defeated and, just like, what am I doing this for? And all that kind of thing. So that's a really negative, blaming energy that is really easy to get caught up in. I have been, I'm guilty of that at times as well. But for me, I'm really starting to think about, well, can I be in that threatening stage while I'm in this third space? Or do I want to think about this space as my development stage? So for anybody that this may resonate with, if you feel like you're in that space now, and I know many, many of you are, think about what this third space of what we're going to call the development space can actually do for you. What personal growth type stuff can you do that's going to maybe not straight away, but project you into that second space again. Is everybody with me? Do you know what I mean by this? Because it's not just here to there. There's always this in between. And when he was sharing a lot about this book, he was actually talking about, people that go to work and then they come home and they bring their work home. So that third space is the drive home in the car or the train trip or whatever, to, really think about, okay, like, how am I going to show up once I get home to my family? So that was kind of his perspective on it. But as soon as he started talking about that, my brain went straight away to us in business. But then it also got me thinking about, well, that third space is the same for us when we get in our cars and we drive from home to run a workshop. That's the same thing as well. So if we're in that third space thinking, I'm not going to get any enrollments tonight, no one's going to really care about what I have to say, I don't know enough, you're using that third space in a negative way. So flip it and think about what I am going to achieve and what I am going to attract tonight when you go to that workshop. So, and all that third space, guys, it's nobody else. It's you. It's your third space. You get to choose how you're going to live in it. So that's really one of the biggest things that I took away from Diamond Day, and one of the biggest things that I'm going to be putting into my business personally, and what I'm going to be teaching my team as well. Thank you.
That is awesome, Vicky. Thank you so much.
No worries.
You know I love that. You know I loved Adam Fraser on Diamond Day. Vicky messaged me while we're watching Dr. Adam Fraser, and she goes, "This guy is totally up your alley, isn't he?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yep, I am loving this."
Yeah, so maybe when we've read this, we can delve into this stuff a little bit more, but that's just kind of my basic kind of understanding of it at the moment.
Yeah, look, you've hit the nail on the head. One thing that he described as an example is professional athletes. He's interviewed them and asked them, how do you go from that pressure space of the winning point? So keep your absolute cool, calm, and collected self. See yourself through to that winning point in that calm state, not in a stress state. And they often talk or refer to this third space where they just drop all expectation and they connect to breath. It's almost like a meditation, where they get their heart rate. Rafael Nadal, he explains this, he gets his heart rate to a certain a beat per minute, and as soon as he feels that, then he's ready to serve. That's why he sits there and he bounces the ball for a long time before he actually serves. So absolutely love that, Vicky. That's my jam. Thank you. Enjoy your call.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So, Jody, Kirsty, Diane, first one to put your hand up in the air. Diane, you're up. And I'll unmute you. There you go. You're there.
Hello.
There Hello.
I absolutely loved the leadership weekend, and I got so much out of it. But I probably got two quick takeaways. One was Adam Barrett when he did his. He's from Perth, and I don't know about everybody else, but I always struggle at the end with that closing. And he made it so easy, because his close is, so how can I get you started on your oil journey today? And it was just one line, so simple. It took everything away. It took it back to the person. And I don't know, that resonated for me. And it's a simple takeaway, just that finishing line. So how can I help you get started on your oil journey today? So that was probably my number one, because that's simple. And the other was, I went to Hayley Weiss, her work.
Weissy, yep.
Weissy, so he said. Yep. And
yep.
I really resonated with what she had to say, because I sent a visual to you, which unfortunately everybody can't see. But basically, she looks at all of the ranks as our chakra system, as our body, but inverted up the other way. So she's got your base chakra aligned to presidential diamond, and then she's turned, our crown to elite. And then she talked about how all of our issues, our self-doubt, all of the stuff that we go through on a daily basis, basically those foundations were created between 0 and 7, when we were just a little ticker. And we spend our whole life trying to heal the inner child, to come to terms to the inner child. And so then when she ran through each of the stages of how we grow in our business and linked it with that, she basically said, when you get to elite, you're sort of a bit fearful about what are people going to think, I'm network marketing, or how's this going to go down? And you've got to come to terms with that. And then you go up to Premier, and you really believe in the business. It's giving you money now, and you've got these people under you that are looking forward to you sharing with them. But you're sort of looking at yourself as, well, now I've got to do it. So I've got to get in there, and you're starting to be a bit active. And then you get to Silver, and Silver is all about sharing your vision, having a voice, really working out your why, and really being strong and powerful about it. So it's that belief in the self. It's about worthiness when you're at Silver, and consolidating all of the ranks. Then going up to the Gold and the Platinum, she talks about love and gratitude, and being in that place of being thankful for where you are, and instilling that in all of your members. And then what else did I write down here? Oh, the thing that resonated in the gold platinum area was she said something along the lines of what I often say to people: there's only love and fear. And when you love the fear, then there's only love. And that was sort of, it just, I got tingly when she was talking. So I wanted to share that. And I guess it's also about being in the heart. So the heart is where the power is. So if it's totally unconditional love for everyone, and we're helping them with the oils, because we all know that it's going to change people's lives, but there's no attachment to that, it's unconditional, then, you know, you zoom forward. So the workshop was on rank advancement. It was just brilliant how she talked. Then she got to Diamond, and she said, Diamond, you've actually anchored the energy in your gut, which is your personal power point, solar plexus. It's like where, you know, you just know that it's right, and you zoom ahead because the motivation and the drive is within you. It's, you know, that core part. And then she went up to the blue diamond and talked about that when you get to here, it's about the sacral chakra. It's aligned to the sacral chakra. And sacral chakra is about creation, birth, you know, new beginnings, and who am I? Why am I here? How am I going to create this? So it's creativity. And then she got to the presidential diamond, which was embodying it in the base chakra. It's like knowing you're secure, knowing that you're sure of yourself, even though you have your moments of doubt, which is normal for everybody, but you really know that this is the way to go, and you're sure of yourself, so you fly with that. So I don't know, I thought that was a brilliant takeaway.
Absolutely love it, Diane. Yeah. And I'm sorry about the visual, but I will share that in the notes for the meeting.
Sorry, I'm technically dyslexic. I tried, and then I thought, I just...
No, my bad. I said I would put it in the slideshow, but I was handed a baby not long after making that promise. So
it's all good. And there's probably other words on that slide, because, you know, I've turned up without anything. But that was just my takeaway.
Yeah, no. That's beautiful. No, both Hayley and Adam have some invaluable information to share. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
I'm hoping someone's going to talk about the Indigenous panel too, because that was the other earth-moving thing for me. They were brilliant.
Yeah, I think I may have. I think Vicky was, but she's gone. She might jump back on. She's pretty remarkable.
Well, the one little thing is just how every single person, whether they were from New Zealand, Maori, or they were from Fiji, or they're from Papua New Guinea, or wherever they were from, it was the gift of the earth and the connection to the land and the sense of belonging, and that was changing lives. Very good. Yeah.
Beautiful. And that's, I mean, that's, the oils are the closest thing to the source, like a powerful source from the earth, aren't they? So, it was very good. And they're coming from the Indigenous source. So,
and they were, you know, just rippling through their communities. Just beautiful it was. It was a really fantastic panel.
Beautiful. Yeah, get to see that one. So, yeah, hopefully we get to hear about that. Thank you so much, Diane.
Thank you.
So Jody is staring straight down the barrel of the gun, and she is keen. Please, Jody, share your number one takeaway.
Super keen. Well, I had a few key learnings. I really liked the practical learnings of leadership to take away. So the first one was aiming for power of 3 when someone first starts out, and working on their fast start as well. So power of 3 and fast start. By silver level, you should be getting the 1500 power of 3, which me at platinum, I'm not getting that. So that's one thing that I want to work on myself. This was Rosie Nerney who was talking about placements. And she also spoke about not building yourself out of a business. So keeping enrollments in the top 3 to 4 levels. And then with a focus on power of 3, this will safeguard your uni level. So I thought that was really cool. It's just something different to think about when structuring. The second thing was Alison Bartolo spoke about how to follow through So we need to impact somebody's lifestyle for them to continue LRP. And she spoke about the importance of LRP. She had a saying, our fast start reflects how good we are at selling kits, and our unit reflects how good we are at impacting others' lives. So she really spoke about, you know, keeping that connection with other people. She even had a Excel table up to say that if you only enrolled people and nobody ever went on to LRP, you'd never make it past elite, which was pretty cool to kind of think about and remember into the future. And that we need to help people make a lifestyle change and see the value of the loyalty rewards. And we should say loyalty rewards, not LRP. And she said 80% of sales require 5 to 12 follow-ups. So don't just give up on the first try, the second try, the third try. Keep going 12 times or over. And it's funny, I got a message, I was sending out messages yesterday to invite to a class this weekend. And one girl that I work with in my OT, occupational therapy job, I was a bit nervous about messaging her again because I keep messaging her. She did the spoil ages ago and she never replies. And I was like, oh well, I'll just send it anyway. So I sent it and she actually wrote back saying this time, which I was like, whoa, she wrote back saying, I can't make it on Saturday, but keep me in the loop. I'm still like super interested. So I was like, oh, okay. I was almost ready to like cross her off the list because she hadn't replied that many times. So that, I guess, kind of just confirmed with that. So we need people on LRP to keep our business moving forward. And the first 90 days is crucial. So that's when the person's most excited. That's when we should be connecting with them the most. The third thing was action is key. So Chloe Hilton Clow spoke about modeling behaviour and leading by example. And she just said, just do the thing and fix it later. So don't get stuck in the pee of the pipes of preparation and feeling like you need to be perfect to begin, because you just need to just do the thing and fix it later. So making mistakes is actually how you learn and how you grow. Consistency, not perfection. Show the real busy you. People buy the oils because of you. And she also said, which has resonated with me since, when people feel like they want to give up, you know, it's all too hard. She said, you can give up, but on a good day. And she said, if you had a really crappy day at your 9-to-5 job, would you just quit that afternoon? No, you just get over it, you go to bed, you get up and you go back to work and you do it again, you start again, you have a better day. So if you think of doTERRA as your 9-to-5 job, you know, tomorrow is going to be a better day. And the last thing was the talk that Hayley Weesey did, The Secret to Rank Advancing. And I'll just touch on this because Diane just spoke about that. But she had a quote there that resonated with me as well. And it was efforts and courage, which I feel like I've been having a lot of lately, but they're not enough without purpose and direction. So purpose is your why. So continually revisiting your why and feeling into your why and actually believing your why. And then direction is rank. So know where you're headed, write down goals hard on paper. That's something that I haven't been very good at doing this year. And then breaking those into smaller steps to achieve, I guess, and then having somebody to mentor you or keep you accountable and see, you know, if you don't reach your goal, that's okay. But why didn't you get there and what could you do differently next time? So it's constantly learning. It's not about the end result. It's about the journey along the way. And that's all. Yeah.
Awesome. Love it, Jods. Yeah, some really good points there. About the Queen of LRP and the Queen of Power of 3 as well, which we'll hear from at Elite Retreat. So thank you so much for sharing that, Jods. Some really good points. Now I can see Kirsty, and she's got her hand up. Kirsty, which she knew that she was going to be a first with your hands up. So Kirsty, take it away.
It might have only been me left. I had an amazing time. So this was my first leadership conference. I had done Elite Retreat, but I was blown away by, sorry, excuse me, just how many great speakers there were and how authentic everyone was with their presentation. I think I'd assumed probably that a lot of people were finding it easier than maybe I found things myself to get to the ranks that they got to. And Amy Carmichael, Dr. Amy, had actually opened her session and said, you know, a lot of people think that just because I'm a doctor that, you know, I get loads of people signing up because I know how to solve all their problems. And she's like, but, you know, being a doctor can actually be a hindrance for me. So, you know, whereas I'd kind of thought, oh, wow, it must be amazing to have that skill set because so many people realize how knowledgeable you are. She was kind of saying people just want to have the everyday person because it's hard for her to grow her team. And, you know, we all have our own challenges. So it's quite reassuring that there's no, you know, amazing approach that works for everyone. It was all very individual. What seemed to work and make people successful is because when they found their own way at doing their own business. A big thing that came through was teamwork. So Danielle Waters did a presentation and she talked about when she first was going for Diamond, how she went about it. She created a really, you know, detailed plan and got everyone a call and allocated all the tasks, but she didn't actually meet Diamond that month. And she kind of fell in a big heap afterwards because she'd put so much effort into it. And then she realized how much her goal was based on the goals of everyone else. So the month she actually hit Diamond in the end was the month that she focused on people being able to create and reach their own goals and supporting them to do that. So, you know, it's celebrating a lot of elites and directors and executives and premiers along the way that helped her in her Diamond month. And actually Adam Barala also reinforced that with his approach to wellness consults. He actually calls it more of a personal consult than a wellness consult, but he generally takes along the person that he has got the person enrolled with as their sponsor, or he introduces them on the phone. So really making sure that he works as a team, I guess, was his big thing. And it was interesting. He said that in their group, he doesn't encourage anyone to start up their own groups until they get to Diamond, just because the effort that is involved in recreating, it's really about maximizing one team. And I thought that was really interesting as well, because it's so easy to think that, you know, even as a premier, I need to be creating all these resources and doing all these things, but we've actually got so much available to us, and doTERRA is bringing more available to us with email series and things that they're trialing and coming out with, that the focus should be on that connection. So really building that community and that connection with the people that we're engaging with, and then drawing on the fact that we are one big family and one big group, and using different people to help us communicate that message, which I think is what we also see in our own team is, you know, when we're in the Pure Royals community, that lots of different people express things in different ways. So sometimes people hear it and connect with it on that other person that's not always ourselves. So even though they may have enrolled with us, they really can benefit from the power of that community and that connection. And then just the final thing that I was going to talk about was the different approach to making that connection. So I went along to the Natalie Blackburn session, and she's been doing a lot of online classes, and she creates a group and she invites people to that group, and then she just does 2 or 3 minute videos throughout the day. And so I think, you know, one of the things that I feel is I'm constantly asking people to join oil camps or to join different initiatives that we've got going. And I feel that radio silence sometimes, whereas what I really learned from leadership is that we need to have that diversity and different options, because for some people it's that they really sit in the Instagram or the email platform or the face-to-face connection. So having different options and leveraging on those group resources is really valuable for us as a team. And then just as been mentioned, I went along to the Indigenous panel, and that was really amazing to see, I guess, the bigger picture of the why and what doTERRA are doing. There were 3 ladies that sat up on stage and just shared how they'd use the oils to help heal their, you know, in the process of healing their generational trauma. And I really don't think there was one dry eye in the room. It was just amazing to see how doTERRA, from the power of the oils, had helped them connect back in with themselves and their communities, but also the amazing way that people are using these oils and the money that they're earning to make an impact. And there was one lady that was mentioned on stage, and I don't believe that she actually went around telling people this is what she did, but she was in a situation where she didn't financially need any more money. I think she'd come to doTERRA just loving the oils, and she was quite comfortable financially anyway. And then she had decided to do the business, and she was donating all of her salary to an orphanage that was really important to her. So it just made me realize the people that come into our community through doTERRA are just incredible people. You just get really inspired by incredible people. And, you know, the business is one side, the oils are one thing, but the bigger why of what we're doing all together as a community was really, really beautiful to see as well. It wasn't flash Mercedes cars on the stage. It was regular people doing amazing stuff just over and over again and getting up and doing it again. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kirsty. Yeah, I totally agree. It's it's leave your ego at the front door in doTERRA. Otherwise, it just doesn't resonate. It just doesn't work. I've seen that ego come in, and it just doesn't last long. That the light just completely outshines that ego in our community, which I just absolutely love. And what you were saying before about Dave Sterling, everyday people doing extraordinary things. That's what doTERRA is all about, isn't it? Yep.
And that's just authentic. It's not a marketing thing. It genuinely is people just seeing something and wanting to follow their dreams and their passion and using the compensation plan for their own abundance, but to do good with it too. And yeah, just felt really good. It felt really good to be there.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm rating it as one of the best leaderships. So yeah, so blessed to be part of it with you guys. And I'm so glad to, that you came along and you got so much out of it. Now, thank you so much, Kirsty. I have Nicole and Izzy left still to speak. So Izzy's give me a big smile. That shows me that she's ready. Nicole is too. But happy for either of you guys to go first. Who wants to go first?
I'm happy to go first because I'm worried every time I've heard one of you guys say something like, oh, damn it, I was going to share that. So probably the biggest thing for me, I loved leadership. It was so good. It was just awesome to just be around all the leaders, and everyone's just so like-minded, and just ideas and practical tips that you can just implement every day, and things that you get stuck on, they just answer all those questions, and you're just like, oh, this is just great. Like, now you have to just start implementing everything that they're saying. So the biggest thing out of the whole leadership retreat was connection. So connecting with your contacts. So everyone that, you know, buys the oils, yes, they're amazing, the oils, but they're actually buying it from you because you're the one that's, you know, sharing the oils, and they're loving, that relationship that you have with them is so valuable, and that is the reason why they're getting the oils from you. And, you know, really addressing their needs. So actually listening to what they're needing and what they're wanting, and simple things like Jonathan mentioned, like a workshop invite script. He said, I know you have been having some problems lately with, you know, XYZ, cough or a cold, whatever you might see them mentioning on Facebook. I have an information night next Tuesday evening and I will save a seat for you. So and that was his script. So he mentioned that, and using that sort of, you know, I'll save a seat for you. It's like, oh, that's so exciting. They're saving a seat for me for a workshop. I definitely want to go. Like, he's addressing my needs, and that's really like sort of making it catered to them specifically. It's not just an overall, oh, I've got a workshop on, would you like to come? It's very, niche to them and personal. Also, if someone says they aren't sleeping well, or if they've got a cold or a cough, respond back. This is what I found really funny. He said, respond back saying, what essential oils are you using for that? So automatically assume that people are using essential oils already, because, you know, that's what we do these days. And yeah, just pop that question out there, and that's sort of already putting that, planting that seed that, you know, that they should be using the oils regardless. So yeah, that was really cool, those things that he said. Again, yes, Jody mentioned that Never Give Up on a Bad Day by Jesse Reimers, because, you know, if you come back from a bad day from work, you wouldn't just quit the job. Another thing from Alice Abba, she said, you are the root of your tree. So you are, you know, yeah, the root. So you will create that inspiration for your whole entire team, and spark, you know, ideas and all that sort of stuff. And even doing custom workshops like the Aroma Touch workshops that they're going to start putting out, which is really exciting, creating that connection with our team members. And that is such a personal, very special experience that you'll get to experience doing the Aroma Touch hand technique with all of your team members, gifting that to them, and, you know, doing a special workshop specifically just for your team and making them feel that extra little bit special, that they get access to these, you know, specific things and different things to what you'd offer the public. Another thing from Dr. Amy Carmichael. So I also saw her workshop, and she said, when you are presenting your class, you have to prepare yourself before you present. It is so important for you to prepare you so that you can present completely, authentically you. And yeah, that was that point that I had about her with that. And then you have to continually get out of your comfort zone to grow, which we know, and it's difficult sometimes, but that is very valuable. And even when we feel like we've achieved everything, there's still so many things that we have to overcome, and challenges that we'll face that are not comfortable. And that's what we have to get through to continue to grow. And otherwise, you know, you'll just stay in the same place. Another thing is focus on giving. So who is your success story? I don't know what I meant by that. Sorry, I thought I knew what that point was, but I don't. Sorry.
Okay.
And then the floor is yours. So smile and give it your all, and always smile when you're presenting yourself, because you're stimulating your brain, and people will smile back. And then make a point that medicine is necessary. She is a doctor, so she did mention that comment, and it's sort of doing it in that way that, you know, it's bridging the gap, and you're complementing, you know, the medicine with the oils and vice versa. So you're not sort of making assumptions and just making claims, and people sort of have more trust in you because you're addressing both parties. So I thought that was a great statement. Another thing with Adam Ballett with Wellness Consults, he said that was already mentioned, how it's a personal consult. And now I've gone blank. Sorry. So just, I think that a lot of the things that I wanted to talk about was already covered, unfortunately.
That's okay.
I'm
No,
sorry. But
cool.
the biggest thing, putting the notes down, the biggest thing was just, the connection and just connecting with our contacts. And that was the biggest thing that I took from it. And
no, that I totally agree. Easy connection. It kept on coming up again and again through the Blue Diamond, Presidential Diamond Mastermind Day that Jesse brought together as well. It just kept on coming back to that grassroots activity of connecting with people. And it's us, it's our connection that people are buying. I'm just looking at who's moaning in the background there.
No, that was our plumbing. It's just going off.
Oh, that's your plumbing moaning, is it? Oh, I thought someone was moaning because it's like, oh, here we go. He's harping on again.
No, that's the plumbing. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Izzy. I really appreciate it. Fantastic words of wisdom. And last but not least, we have the beautiful Nicole Thomas. Please take it away.
Hello. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I am so grateful that I have hung around and I chose to go up to leadership with you all and made some beautiful, stronger connections with the Pure Oils team as well. So I'm going to keep this short because I can see that we're already like an hour. Starting with something that Alison Bartolo, she's come up a few times, I guess because she is the queen of loyalty rewards. Everyone who joins doTERRA want to change their lives. That statement there within itself just really made me go next level because, hey, Indy, even though for me, I guess just reflecting that like we can see that we can support people to change lives. The way that what I took from Alison was they may not even see it yet. They may not even know it, but they're reaching out. And pivot was finding that pivot point was a huge thing that was mentioned again and again through leadership, and us being able to pivot to reach the market, to be able to really listen and to find out what it is that people are needing. Fortune is in the follow-up, Alison Bartolo always says. And another thing that for me that I really took from leadership was shifting the mindset. I've always said, I share essential oils. I share essential oils. I share essential oils, and really done that from a heart space. But with this pivot in the market that they're talking about now, it's like taking on an authentic ownership that, I actually sell essential oils and I change people's lives. I transform people's lives by sharing and an opportunity and with essential oils, with natural solutions, but owning the fact that we actually sell the oils. So looking at that, we are already salespeople. This really fell into my lap. We are already salespeople. We sell everything. We sell, how was that dinner at the restaurant? We either rate it or we don't rate it to the people, our circle of influence with the people that we're already influencing. To look at it from that perspective and that pivot in the marketplace felt for me that it was a next level of ownership in my own leadership, that I'm selling essential oils, I'm influencing people, even though I may have a small, or you may have a small, or you may have a large following on social media already, but there's still a circle of people that we're influencing. And Buffy Gill was talking about branding ourselves. We are the brand, and every single one of us have our own unique stories, and we all know that it's the stories that sell the oils. So authentically being ourselves within that and presenting that. So whatever your stories are, staying true to that authenticity and sharing that from yourself, because that's the tribe that you're going to call in. That's the tribe that are going to be attracted to you for your stories. And that might be mental health. It might be horses and dogs. It may be, your thing may be like kids. So whatever that is, whatever your passion is to be saying really pure in our truth, because remarkability is an unfair advantage. This has been said, and I also said attention is the most scarce source. So what people really are wanting in this pivot in the market, what I heard was they want to be heard. They really want to be felt, and they want their needs met. So by having the remarkability is an unfair advantage, being true in our authentic self and having the attention to be able to listen and build relationships. Everything is relationships. The grandparents or the Goddards have said about doTERRA, everything is relationships. So if we continue to build relationships and staying true in our authentic self, listening and hearing what people are needing, then if we are actually able to truly show up and be of service, then we're going to be able to get people on their monthly order, on their loyalty rewards, because that way we've been completely of service to them. I was so blown away with what Alison Bartolo was talking about by that I actually had to share with my group to say, I felt like I'd failed them. If they hadn't had a wellness consult, if they're not literally on their loyalty rewards, that I literally felt like I had failed them if they were in my community, in my team, in my tribe, because they haven't actually, I haven't showed up for them enough. And maybe that's because I hadn't built enough relationship with them. I haven't heard them enough. I haven't been able to be there completely for them enough. So building relationships, paying attention, mindful listening, solving people's pain problems. That's the big pivot that kept on being repeated, that really stuck with me. And from the Goddards again, like they talked about hunger, grit, and vision. And like going back to everyone who joins doTERRA wants to change their lives, they actually ended with, how hungry are you? How hungry am I to keep changing the world and to keep changing other people's lives? So yeah, that was my little take. I felt really inspired by so much. It's hard to sum it up in just a few minutes, 5 minutes or a few minutes. I guess I could keep talking, but I'm mindful of time as well and want to honour that. I guess I should have put my hand up earlier, but...
Hey, it's all good, Nicole. I always encourage everyone to put their camera on so we can see your beautiful faces, but really appreciate your takeaways and your insights. Yeah, fantastic. So we did also say that we were going to cover some of the breakout session notes, but I think we've kind of covered that. Would you guys agree? Yeah, we're going to do the number one takeaway for leadership, but I think we've expanded on that a bit, which has been brilliant. And I really want to thank you all for coming along to leadership and just having such a great time with you guys. We're just so blessed to have such a beautiful doTERRA family and to be able to enjoy the growth times and the good times, like going out to dinner and just hanging out as well. So thanks again. We look forward to having more of you join us next year as well. So I was going to share my number one takeaway. I'm going to have to do it real quick. So Dr. Adam Fraser, the guy that Vicky was talking about, he was actually called by the leaders of Kuwait to come and help them as a nation to be more happy, because they were suffering. Which it sounds crazy, but they had no debt. As a nation, they had zero debt. They had everything they could ever dream of. And he went over there thinking it was a bit of a practical joke, but he discovered the reason why these Kuwaiti people were so unhappy is because they had no challenge, no adversity in life that they had to overcome. And therefore they had no purpose. There was zero satisfaction. They had everything they could ever dream of, and they were still so unhappy. And you hear of this happening for many people who do, win the lottery and do various things like that. So I was really amazed with this this premise or this philosophy that he shared, and he I liken this to say like a kid's playground. Renee. So Indy, I would take her to a playground these days, and they're completely, covered with soft equipment. You can't hurt yourself at all, which is beautiful for our little cherubs. But do you guys remember growing up on equipment like this, the steel rocket ship? That, if you fall, you get stitches, and you get, you have to go to the doctors, and you get tetanus, and you get 3rd-degree burns when you go down the 20-foot steel slippery dip in the blazing hot sun. But we made it through, right? The merry-go-round where your friends go flying off the edge when dad's spinning you too fast. And like I mentioned about the slippery dips and the big swings, like we all made it through this adversity. And Indy also had an experience as well recently. The parks in Queensland aren't the same as what they are in New South Wales. This one was in Queensland, and Indy fully conquered it by the end of the day, but she actually stacked it on this slippery dip experience. So she's all the way at the top there. She came down the end and she stacked it big time. She flew off the end, but she dusted herself off. She got back up there and she did it again until she felt confident. I feel sometimes like we feel that life needs to be a little bit of a soft padded arena where we're not willing to get a bit dirty, get a bit of blood on the face. And it's through this adversity that we actually do find happiness. When we're faced with the challenge and we overcome it, that's when we find ourselves most satisfied and most happy. Sounds crazy, right? Everyone is dreaming of this lottery. Like, well, I'll be happy when I win lottery, but I'm sorry, but you won't, because it's not yours by right of consciousness, and you haven't really earned it. It's just fallen into your lap. So people might think we're crazy because we're happy and we're, sending ourselves through Diamond Club, but it's the juice. This is real happiness that we're doing. So we've gone through the breakout sessions. I will go. I'll do more of a sum up from Diamond Day and things like that at a later date. I'm yet to come up with that, but today I've been focusing on putting something together. I'm really excited to announce. Yes, we do have these beautiful promotions, as we always do each month. Sweet Alchemy, ongoing. Take advantage of the free books, and we have Elite Retreat. Please remember to get your tickets. There's 1-day tickets now available for Elite Retreat. You need to use the promo code 1 day only with capitals for each word, one word, and you can get 1-day tickets for that. So bring along your teams. It's going to be awesome, and really looking forward to it. And this is what I'm most looking forward to for next month and for the months of September, October, and November, for 3 months. So here's the team in convention in Sydney. Another event we all had an amazing time at. The Premier Club. What this is all about is it's an incentive that we do each year, and this is for new starters up to organic silver advocates. You don't have to do it at silver. You don't have to do it at Premier. You don't have to do it at all. This is completely optional. This for Premier Club is completely optional. You have to choose if you want to do this. But there are some entry requirements, and there are some monthly requirements that are totally achievable. So you can see them there. 2 personal enrollments in August. You do need to be ranked below organic gold. So you could be gold, but you may only be hitting silver. So you can still participate in Premier Club if you want to. If you're pinned as gold, but you're ranking as silver or lower. If that's a little confusing, you don't fully understand it, then please reach out, ask the question. I'll say yes, no, maybe so, but we can sort that out. You need an upline mentor, and that's because you'll be doing fortnightly mentoring calls with your mentor per month. So I suggest you do one at least at the start of the month with a plan of what you're going to be doing, and then after, halfway through the month, to check in and see how you're going. There will be an incentive for people who win back people who haven't been active for 6 months onto LRP, and also for personal enrollments as well. So what do you get? We're going to be providing touch range oils this time around, and these will be sent to your upline or your mentor who will be posting these directly out to the people who enroll or go on LRP. So this is for the win back, so 6 months of inactivity and then going on LRP of 100 PV or more, or people who are new to LRP, or people who enroll. So it's completely up to you how you use these 6 touch range oils each month. You also get exclusive mentoring and guidance from your uptime leader, and mentoring and guidance from the community of leaders. So this is just a once a month call that we do as a community, and we just talk about some of the challenges that we're having, what's working, what's not. It's just a short half hour. And of course there's prizes as well. So there will be a point system. There'll be more details provided about that. And it's up to you of whether or not you love competition and want to really sink your teeth into the competition side of things. But in my perspective, or my point of view, is that if you participate in Premier Club, then you're winning. You don't necessarily have to come first, second, or third. You're getting free oils to incentivize enrollments in LRP, and you're gaining some invaluable knowledge from your mentor and the community as well. So I will provide some more details as to where and how you sign up for this. It'll be through our website like it's been in the past. And I look forward to working with the participants and the mentors in our community in making Premier Club awesome in 2019. So does anybody have any questions or additions they would like to add? Yes, I like your point, Diane, about children don't learn to take risks, bring back mud pies and trees to climb. I totally agree. Yeah, we all lost some skin on the asphalt, right? Yeah, asphalt has a lot to answer for. There's a lot of skin that's been taken out thanks to asphalt, but we're all stronger because of it. So if anybody has any questions at all, yeah.
Can I?
Yes. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hey Jen, how you doing? Yes.
Hello. Sorry. I just want to ask a question because I haven't been here long enough to about those competencies that you have and Premier Club. So do we have to nominate to participate in Premier Club, or will it just automatically happen if we reach those targets?
Yeah, great question. So it's just a registration form that you need to fill out, and I'll post that in our share build group. And it's a pretty, like, it's a very easy to follow form where you just say, yep, I've done 2 enrollments in August, and I have an upline mentor that's going to be working with me through Premier Club. And it's a very straightforward form. It's just a registration, and then we just say, yep, cool, you meet the criteria, we'd love to have you in and on board, and let's do this.
And so that's part of Pure Oil's incentive, your incentive, the care incentive.
Correct, yes. Yeah.
Each one, sorry.
So
Is
Is my microphone terrible?
It's very broken up. It's like.
Which incentive? Is it pure oils or doTERRA?
It's a pure oils thing.
Thank you.
Yes. Yep. This is
Bye-bye.
being put together by Renee and I and the other leaders in our community. Awesome. Yeah, when we have better internet connections, then yeah, we might be able to get some more clarity on that. But yeah, always got our share build group to ask some questions as well, and the chat group as well here. Which incentive doTERRA pure oils? I'm just going to write here pure oils. So Renee and I, we provide those oils, and we will be sending them out to the mentors, the people who are actually mentoring. All our team leaders will be sending those out to the people who have either gone on LRP or enrolled. And the reason why we've chosen touch oils as well is because the postage is a little cheaper. That they fit into a slot. And also it introduces people to a way of using the oils that's really convenient, because basically Renee and I were talking about this, like 50% of the oils that we buy nowadays are actually touch oils, because it's just so convenient, ready to go, ready to use, safe for children. So that's why we've chosen to do the touch range this year. And those oils will be sent out to the mentors, to the leaders, to be sent out to the customers that go on LRP and enroll at the end of each month. So the mentors, they'll provide myself with a list, and they'll say, hey, so-and-so has done this many enrollments and got this many people on LRP of 100 PV or more. And I'll go, great, here are 6 oils for them. Can you please send them out to their LRP and enrollment customers? So that's the basic premise of how we're going to look at it. It is still a bit flexible and can change. It's not in concrete yet. And I'm happy to hear some feedback of what you guys think about it. And it is similar to last year, what we did. It just tweaked in a slight way. So the biggest change to what we did last year is we sent out the oils at the start of the month, and then we said, okay, you have them and you just give them out to people as you enroll people. Now what we're doing is saying, right, you let us know who you've enrolled or who you put on an LRP, and we'll give you the oils at the end of the month, and they'll be sent directly to the person who's enrolled or gone on LRP. So that way, there's no glut in that. Oils are just sitting with somebody and not being used, and there's the pressure of having to get rid of these oils through the whole of Premier Club. And by also having requirements each month, which are totally achievable, of 2 enrollments and 2 personal enrollments and 2 LRP, either win back or new LRPs, then that keeps it active. So the people that are in there and receiving their mentorship and being part of the community and group, where it's all people who are actively getting out there and sharing and teaching people about LRP, etc. So those are the 2 major changes from last year. How long does it go for, and when does it start? It starts on the 1st of September, and it goes till the end of November, which I believe November has 30 days. So that's how long it goes for, a 90-day incentive. So I will have the form up to register for Premier Club very soon. I'm traveling home tomorrow, and I will have that form up by the end of the week, and I'll post some more information about Premier Club, and would love to hear some feedback from you guys about what you think about Premier Club, and if you feel there could be some slight improvements or changes to what has been shared in this business meeting. But for me, the way I see it is there's nothing to lose and everything to gain. You just put your hand up and say, yep, I can commit to 2 mentoring calls a month, 2 enrollments a month, 2 LRPs a month, and I'm going to receive free oils to incentivize, help me further cement in or encourage people to gain the benefits from essential oils, and possibly even educate them further about the touch range and other oils that we can use outside of the 10 most common oils that we mostly cover when we're introducing people to the oils. Post the touch oil directly to 6 peeps we encourage you. Yeah, a great idea to, saying the mentors post the touch oils directly to the 6 doTERRA peeps we encourage each month. Yeah, yep. That's the biggest change from last year. And yeah, we've chosen the touch range to save on postage. It's $8 in comparison to $2 for a touch range oil. And this is something that was actually suggested by some of our leaders. It's like, why are you, Byron, posting all of the oils? Why wouldn't you post them or get them to the leaders, and then they personally send them out to the people who are going on LRP. So just to reiterate and go over that again, it's up to 6 people that you receive these oils for. You can go over 6 people per month, that's fine, but you'll receive up to 6 each month, and that'll be at the end of each month. So by the end of November, it'll be like through early December that your people who enrolled in November or went on LRP in November will be receiving their free oil, and that'll be coming directly from the mentor or the leader who is mentoring the participant. So, I'll be mentoring, Jody will be mentoring, Nicole will be mentoring, anybody who who has been elected or approached to mentor can mentor. You don't have to be a gold and above. You don't have to be a silver. You don't have to be a premier. You can start mentoring at any stage, and I highly encourage you to start coaching or mentoring at an earlier stage as possible. Like we shared in this call, this is, we learn by doing. We just get out there and we do, and we learn, and we grow. I will provide some guidance on how to be really effective with your mentoring time, provide a little bit of a structure and a framework around that. So, you're honoring your time and as a mentor and as a participant, and you can make that time together really constructive. So that's pretty much all I have to share without keeping you guys up till midnight talking about Premier Club. And I want to thank you all for joining me. Really appreciate it. And sorry we went over. And we love you all. And Indy wants to say a quick goodbye because she's been such a patient girl waiting for Dad. We always read books, don't we? Usually at about 8.
Hi, beautiful.
I'll just plug my headphones.
Hi, gorgeous girl.
Nicole, say hello.
Hi, beautiful.
Hey.
Hi. Hey.
We usually read books from about 8 o'clock, don't we?
Yeah, it's bedtime.
Hi, Indy.
What are you eating? In Mandarin.
So cute.
Hi, Indy. Hi.
Look, there's only Rob. Hey.
Hi, honey.
All right, guys.
Good
Better
night.
get this little munchkin to bed. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Big gratitude, Byron.
See ya.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you, Rob.
See you, Di.